What is dating like for persons living with HIV emotionally?
Yeah, that's very deep, because most of the time when people accept the fact that they are HIV positive, because it actually takes time to accept the new normal of someone being positive. Dating, it's kind of boring for them and kind of lonely for them. So most of them are withdrawn from the society. They carry the burden alone. Like I remember a lady crying to me, telling me that the mom actually told her she is disappointed in her because she's HIV positive. So she called and she was actually crying. So imagine if your mom, a mother, can actually look, a child in the face to say, I'm disappointed in you. Like, I don't understand why HIV is not accepted and understandable in the society. Why do people embrace it when you tell them you have cancer? Why do people embrace it when you tell them you have kidney issues, liver issues? Why do people embrace it? Then HIV, that is a manageable disease, people kind of push the person away just because the person is HIV positive. So please, let's show love, support, and acceptance, and even understanding to people living with HIV.
What advice would you give anyone out there right now looking for love? Apart from your platform, which is doing God's work for people looking for love who are positive, living with HIV.
Search. But keep your fantasy aside. Fantasy is not reality. Sometimes the kind of thing that we put up that we want in a man or in a woman does not exist. Little of everything than having that fantasy of wanting to wipe out poverty from your lineage. You don't have a very good job. You want a woman that has a career. You see somebody in my platform, maybe when you go through my platform, you see posters of people that exist. So you go through the poster and you see someone that has PhD and you are a baba and you're chatting me up because you feel the person is positive, that the person will be able to accept anything. Please, if you want to wipe out poverty, there are plenty poverty elevation program by the government, not positive one-ship.
Welcome to another wonderful episode of The Link Up on Echooroom with yours truly, Teddy A. And you already know, conversations echo beyond the surface on the show. With me today, I have a wonderful guest to discuss a sensitive topic. Her name is Stella Anyika. I don't know if that's correct. Stella Anyika is the CEO Positive Bondship, a platform that matches HIV positive men and women to find love. Welcome to the show today, Miss Stella.
Thank you very
much.
much.
Is it Mrs. or Miss?
Miss Stella.
Miss Stella. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you.
Great to have you on the show. And on this show, we talk to different people. And I've never actually spoken to anyone like you on the show before. Some of that match makes people, with HIV, finding love. How has that been? Has it been hard?
Not that hard. Positive Bondship is a matchmaking platform for singles living with HIV, looking for serious relationship with someone living with HIV. So it's a platform that I took so many years in trying to start up. So it's really been a long time. It's not really something I just started. So I'm putting in a lot of work, a lot of research to make sure that everything is going smoothly in Positive Bondship. So, so far so good. It's been good. It's been good, but just a little bit of people are not really coming out to register in the platform, probably because of stigmatization or something, or because a lot of people have still not embraced the reality of them being HIV positive.
Is this platform an app or website?
No, it's not. I really thought of that, but I noticed that because before I actually started this platform, I actually kind of flirt with other platforms to kind of know how it works. So I find out that people living with positive really don't enjoy going to app because they want a physical kind of touch. They want to feel like they're talking to somebody, not robots.
Right.
So they have a lot of questions to ask. They want to feel comfortable and relaxed that the person they are talking to actually understand what they are going through at that moment. So I decided to run it like a one-on-one personalized matchmaking platform, which is through WhatsApp, but there is no group at all because it's highly confidential. Yeah.
I love that. There's a lot of stigma in society with persons living with HIV, so it is very critical that everyone feels protected.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, when people hear HIV, what is the first lie that comes to mind?
So people think or feel that HIV can be transmitted casually by probably you hugging someone that is positive or sharing a plate and a spoon with someone that is positive. No, there are other myths which HIV can be transmitted. So, but for now, HIV treatments and prevention has really, really advanced. And people have kind of refused to accept these advancements. They refuse to unlearn and relearn the current state of HIV in the world or even in the country. You know, so just like we have the preventive means, we have use of condoms, regular testing. I talk about regular testing, whether you're being exposed or not. Regular testing every 3 months or every 6 months is very, very important. Regular testing is a responsible and empowering step in being informed about your health.
Right.
So it's important for you to do regular testing. Another one is PrEP. PrEP is the pre-exposure prophylaxis. They have it in medicine and in injection. Okay, right now, few months now, Nigeria, we now have PrEP in injection, whereby you can take the injection once in 2 months and it covers you.
To help increase your...
No, it covers you.
Okay.
In case if you expose yourself to HIV,
okay,
it won't be able to stay. The virus won't be able to stay in your body. So it's a preventive measure.
Wow.
You know, so they have the medicine and they have the injection. But I always advise, before you go on PEP or on PrEP, because there are two different things, and people do mistake PEP for PrEP and PrEP for PEP. PEP is the post-exposure prophylaxis. PEP it's when probably you expose yourself within 72 hours of exposure, you must go on PrEP. On PEP, for 21 days or more. So, but it's very important before you go on PEP or PrEP, kindly discuss with your doctor. Discuss your lifestyle. You have to be open. The worst people to lie to is your doctor. Do not lie to your doctor. You have to tell your doctor your lifestyle, whether you're straight or you're bisexual. You have to discuss that with your doctor. So your doctor will be able to tell you which one is better for you, either the PEP or the PrEP.
Wow. That is crazy. Before I ask the next question, isn't there any cure for HIV?
No, for now, there is no cure.
Wow.
Though people talk about the native, traditional, which I don't know about, but for now, medically, there is no cure. But there is ARV, antiretroviral antiretroviral is a medication for people living with HIV. So if you take your ARV as diligent as your doctor prescribed, and you happen to get to undetected viral load, because that's the goal for everybody living with HIV, wanting to get to that point where you have suppressed the virus, where the virus, you can no more transmit the virus. Because once you are undetected, you can marry someone that is negative. You won't be able to transmit because you are undetected. So undetectable viral load is the goal for everyone living with HIV. So it's like an invisible shield against the virus.
Wow, that's crazy. This is a very sensitive topic.
Yeah, it is.
You know, at the same time, it's very important that we have this conversation so we can enlighten people out there as to, you know, persons living with different conditions. And this condition in particular is HIV. What is the most harmful thing people say about living with HIV?
People just refuse to accept the fact that maybe there are people living with HIV around them. Not everybody, because I think now people are coming to understand that having a loved one that is positive does not mean you are positive. So some people kind of distance themselves. So there is really nothing dangerous about someone that is HIV positive, because it's a very, very manageable disease. Very, very manageable. So I think HIV as it stands, or as it is now in Nigeria or even in the world, it's a disease that you can manage. As long as you take your ARV, you eat right, you rest well, you will be fine.
Awesome. Great answer. This takes me to the next question. Would you consider HIV a social punishment? A responsibility? Or just a medical issue? What would you call it?
I think it's not, when you talk about social punishment, it's as if you're talking about the moral judgment aspect,
right?
Which is one part that people really need to wipe off their head. So it's not. It just happened. Just like someone that is hypertensive, someone that is diabetic, you know, someone that has cancer. It's just something like that. It just happened. Sometimes, no matter how, like in my platform, I actually have people that are virgin in my platform. So it's not really
sexual,
not only sexual. People just stack that sexual, not only sexual.
Virgins.
Yes, I do have. So it can happen to anyone. Really can happen to anyone. But at the same time, you just have to be careful and play safe. Always play safe.
That is crazy. We hear of infants who have HIV.
Yes, maybe that's mother to child.
Yes.
You know, okay, but maybe people that were not aware that you were HIV positive, you know, and mostly people that go through traditional means to give birth. Because normally when you're pregnant, you go to the hospital, definitely they're going to run you HIV tests. So if you're positive and you're pregnant, they will definitely start placing you on ARV so that it can prevent the child from being positive. So most times it's during childbirth. That's when the mother can transmit to the child. So you can have a life, you can have children that are negative. At least I have a lot of people that have kids that are negative, that have children that are negative. So being positive is not the end of the world. You can have your husband, you can have your wife, you can have children. You can still bag any degree you want to bag. You can still go to anywhere in the world you want to go. So it actually doesn't stop you from anything. You can still be the person you are.
On your platform, what is the What is the most prevalent challenge?
It's I think men men are not really coming out. Being a matchmaker teaches me something, that women are more bold in terms of facing challenges. I think women are more kind of bold in terms of facing challenges. Men, I don't understand. I think they are not coming out. Not that I don't have men in my platform, but compared to the ratio of women in the platform. So men are not really coming out, and probably because they feel that they can get married to anybody. They can meet any girl and get married to her without the girl asking for their HIV test. So probably that's why, I don't know. But that's major challenge I do have in positive bondship. Men are not really coming out. So men, please come out. We have women for you. Positive bondship is the platform where there is no discrimination. Everyone in positive bondship is the same. HIV positive. So when you're in positive bondship, there is no need to start looking for one special moment to disclose your HIV status. So all you need to be discussing, if you have to discuss being positive with your partner or with anybody in positive bondship, it's, are you taking your medication right? Are you undetected? Are you eating right? Are you resting well? So it won't be a kind of, like, I do have people call me on my platform and they ask me, when can I actually tell my woman, or when can I actually tell my man that I'm HIV positive? So a lot of times people do ask, and I tell them that you would have looked for an HIV matchmaking platform so that you won't put yourself in this particular stage. I don't know how you're going to talk to the woman or the man, but you have to let the person know that you are HIV positive so that the person can probably be on PrEP if the person wants. Because the fact that you're with someone that is HIV does not mean you have to be on PrEP.
Right.
So if the person is undetected, you might not be on PrEP. Depends. But before you get married to someone that is HIV positive, kindly follow the person to the person's doctor, please, so that you know very much that the person is actually undetected.
Nice. On your positive bonding platform, how many people would you say are in the community right now? Give me a figure.
Is it in Nigeria?
Okay.
In Nigeria, we have 2 million.
On your platform?
Not on my platform. On my platform, probably I have like 100 or more than 100.
Okay.
Registered member, because you have to register to be a member.
Okay.
For me to start working towards getting you a partner.
Yeah.
Okay. But in Nigeria, we have like 2 million people living with HIV. But we still have people that are positive that are not recorded. But so far, the ones that are recorded, 2 million. Then amongst the 2 million, we have 1.7 that is on platform. ARV.
Okay.
And among the 1.7 million that is on ARV, we have 1.1 million that their virus has been suppressed. So in Nigeria, we're actually doing well. Kudos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
1 million people have suppressed their virus, so they are undetected. So imagine 1.1 million people. They are not dangerous to the society. They cannot transmit.
So this antiviral or retroviral, which one is it? Antiretroviral. Thank you very much. Does it suppress the disease to the point where, or my question is, how long does it suppress the disease for?
It depends on how many months or years. Some people get to find out few months, some people get to find out 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. Everybody have different bodies, immune system that probably fights disease for them. So it depends on how many virus is in the body and how diligent, very important, how diligent you are to your prescription. So for it to be suppressed.
Okay. Can a person get HIV through oral sex?
Yes. As long as there is a court. As long as there is a court. as long as there is a cut, as long as there is blood flowing somehow, yes, the person can.
Wow. This moves me to the relationship part. So, I don't know why this is funny to me, but when there's a virgin in this community and this virgin is looking for a partner, are these people dating seriously, or is just Konji they owe me? I have, this situation. I can't have sex with this person because of I know my status. I just need a girl. And then he meets a girl that's a virgin. What will he do?
In positive bondship, if you are not ready to be married within 1 year, don't even come to me for registration. There is no boyfriend and girlfriend. There is no chatmates. If you want girlfriend, boyfriend, lover, go to your pickup center where you meet thousands of people living with HIV. So you can actually approach whoever you want to approach. Don't register in my platform thinking I'm going to match you with. If I match you with someone and the person brings a complaint to me about you, then you are disqualified and there will be no refund. So my platform is actually for serious-minded single that wants to get married. I do companionship only for some certain age.
Okay.
There is some certain age a woman or a man gets to. They don't want to get married. They just need somebody, but they want serious relationship.
Talking about from the 50s and up.
Yes. That is the only people I actually do companionship. Like I have someone in my platform. She's 65 years. She needs a companionship. That's understandable.
And she has HIV?
Yes.
How long has she had this for?
I don't know. That's some questions I really don't ask if you don't want to discuss it.
Confidential.
Yes. So only if you want to discuss it, fine. But if you don't want to discuss, it's okay. I actually don't go deep. Only if they want to talk.
Because you don't want to seem like you're over.
Yes.
Trying to get information from them.
Yes. To
make them feel comfortable to get on the platform.
Yes, to be in the platform. So it's not a group. There's no group where you can meet 10 guys at the same time or a guy meeting 10 girls at the same time. It is not like that. So it's a very serious-minded platform for people that wants to get married, not more than 1 year. So if you're not ready to be married within that 1 year, please don't come to Positive Bondship.
You've heard.
Yes.
If you're not looking to get married in 1 year, stay away
from Positive Bondship.
Don't come and do hookup on the platform.
There is no hookup, no casual relationship, no chatmate. Okay. Go to your pickup center. You will get whatever you want there, but not in Positive Bondship.
Okay. Awesome.
Because pickup center is where when you go to pick up your medication, you can actually see thousands of people living with positive. So you can walk up to anybody. So why come to Positive Bondship for that?
Okay. When you kept saying pickup center, I thought you meant maybe like random.
No. Pickup center where
to pick up the medications.
Anybody living with positive, anybody that is positive actually know what I'm talking about.
So they can go there.
Yes.
Wow.
They have thousands of people. You can actually walk. Or hundreds of people.
Hookup sites.
No, it's not a site. It's a clinic. It's a clinic. There are doctors, there are nurses there. It's not a site. So you can. But if you're coming to Positive Bondship and you go through registration, it's strictly for people looking for a relationship that will lead to marriage.
What's the youngest age of one of your members on your platform?
22, and I actually don't do 22, but I decided to do 22 because she was really on my neck. So it's 22. Yeah.
What is it? What is the process of getting someone approved to get on positive bonding?
Before you can be registered, I actually have 4 questions I normally ask, and these questions I don't want to say them because sometimes I ask it quite casually, so you just think I'm trying to play with you. So whatever answers you give me determines if you will be registered. So even if you have the money for registration or not, if you fail any of these questions, you will not be registered.
Is this platform only in Nigeria or?
No, it's actually globally. I do have people scattered everywhere.
All over the world?
All over the world, yeah.
Wow.
I have
And,
Nigerians. I have, to some Nigerian guys that say they don't want to get married to Nigerian ladies. I actually have Kenyans, I have Namibias, I have Tanzanias, I have Zambias, I have Botswana. So I have people everywhere.
Wow. Awesome.
I have in the UK too. I have in the US. I have in Canada. I have in Italy, Malta. I just have.
And which is the most?
US. I do have.
US is the most.
Yes.
So you have about 100 here in Nigeria.
No. I'm talking about everyone. I do match. Like yesterday, I actually did a match yesterday.
Okay.
A successful match yesterday. So I do match. So even when you register, there might be a match for you. I'll match you, but sometimes there might not be a match for you. There might just be something, just one little thing that might delay you for months.
Have you ever had a situation where someone on your platform, met someone else, they started dating, and then things, fell off because maybe one person decided to stop using their drugs, their medications and stuff like that?
I had this issue of a lady I matched in Italy with a guy in Italy. So they met. They live in different places. So they met, and the lady asked the guy a few questions, and she found out that the guy is not serious about his medication. And she called me. She said, I've really gone too far in my medication. I'm undetected, so I can't risk it going for someone that is not serious with medication. So she called it off.
Is it very expensive, the medications?
It's not. In Nigeria, it's free.
Interesting.
Yeah. In Nigeria, it's free. And lots of countries is free. UK, I know, is very much free. US is free. Then there are some countries that actually take stipends. Why there are some Africans that actually live in Europe that don't want to expose themselves, they somehow buy their medication.
From here? From
here.
Africa?
Yeah, from Africa. But I think it's not really that expensive.
It's so crazy to me that here we have a very deadly virus. We have medications that are given for free. Yet it is hard to create a cure for it.
It has really advanced. The fact is, it
How is
has
that?
really advanced. For it to be suppressed, HIV that gets to AIDS. Now, it's only ignorance that will make HIV get to AIDS. So the medication have really advanced, and it has advanced to once a day. No more like 6 tablets in the morning, another one at night. So it's just 1 tablet a day. So it has really advanced. And some countries now, they're actually injections once in 2 months.
I'm just wondering why they don't have a cure for it.
Most of my members in the US, they do 1 injection in 2 months.
Again, I'm just wondering why there's no cure for this.
Of course, there will be cure. It's taking time, but there will be cure. The extent it has, there will be cure.
Okay, awesome.
Cure.
We hope that cure, comes out as soon as possible so people can love freely and not feel stigmatized. Now, tell me a crazy story apart from the one you mentioned where the guy didn't want to take his, medications, anymore, and the lady had to say no. Give me another crazy story, that has happened from your positive, community, so far, dating so far.
Yeah, it's, people are kind of funny. Some people actually take matchmaking platforms as a means of realizing their fantasy. As a young guy and a young girl, you have this fantasy of wanting to either marry a rich man or live abroad, or even a guy wanting to get married to a very stable lady, financially stable lady. So most times they see matchmaking platform as a way of realizing that dream. So they won't openly tell you sometimes, most of the time, just very few of them will tell you, but they won't tell you that this is what they actually want until when you match them. So I have a lady, one time I'm actually matched with somebody in the US and they were doing well, but the US guy was a bit of slow. Everybody have different ways to love. There are people that are very fast. They just start, telling you words. The guy wasn't much of a word person. He was more of gifts. Once in a while, he sends her a gift all the way from the
That's
US.
his love language.
That's his own love language, But the guy needed someone that will, tell her, I love you, I miss you, I've not slept because of you, I just wake up because I'm thinking of you. Do you get
words of affirmation?
Yeah, words of. And she kept telling me, and I keep telling her that everybody is different. For this guy to be sending you gifts from the US, I think it's good. But all of a sudden, most people, they register with 2-3 platforms. So from another platform, she registered. She met someone else in Europe. And before you know it, the guy came back and did introduction. But before then, she called me for advice. And I told her, go ahead if it works for you. I said, what about this other guy? She said the guy is not serious. The guy is not telling her what she wants to hear. And this guy is actually working her papers. As at that time, that was before Donald Trump. He's actually working her papers to move her
to America,
to the States. And the guy told me, but I didn't tell her because there are always secrets. The guy said, I don't want to tell her and I don't want to marry a woman and keep her. If I cannot move her there, I cannot marry her. So I will do everything possible to move her. So the guy was actually wanting to move her and the brother. And I won't believe, after the introduction, I was so happy that when this guy called me to start talking about getting him another match, that's the US guy. So I had to tell the guy that, the guy asked after her. I said, oh, thank God she's done a traditional. So she's preparing towards her wedding. And the guy was like, who? I said, she's done a traditional, preparing towards a white wedding. So the guy was really shocked. But I actually spoke to this girl last night. We were in 2-3 hours calls and all that. I'm still working documents and all that. So the guy didn't really react. But after the conversation, after the call, he actually called her. And he told her, you're married. What else do you want from me? And she told the guy that I don't like Europe. The guy stay in Europe. I want to live in the US. So if I marry him, I will move with you to the US.
What kind of confused woman is that? With a condition, jeez.
So it was like, she just called me and she was like, madam, why did you tell? I said, no, in my platform, there's actually no secret, no double dating. Even in my terms and conditions, you see it, no double dating.
Did they sign contracts?
So no, but there's something I will send to you.
Okay.
So you go through it. You have to, if you can't play by it, then.
It's a waiver. Yeah.
Yes. So, so I was like, there is no secret. Why? And the guy was like, can you imagine what this girl told me? She wants to marry someone in Europe, but she wants to live with me in the US.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. That's one very, up to today, I whenever I remember the story, I'm like, it's all right.
Whether persons live with HIV or not, women will always be women, and people want to be loved how they want to be loved at the end of the day, right? Yeah. Now, what is dating like for persons living with HIV emotionally?
Yeah, that's very deep, because most of the time when people accept the fact that they are HIV positive, because it actually takes time to accept the new normal of someone being positive. So when you accept it, the next thing that starts coming to mind, especially if the person is not married, is, will I ever have my own children? Will I ever get married? That's where positive bondship comes in. Bringing their dream of having a loved one, having their children, getting married, having husband, having wife. bringing it to reality. That's where positive one-ship comes in. So dating, it's kind of boring for them and kind of lonely for them. So most of them are withdrawn from the society because a lot of them cannot discuss with their family or loved ones. So they carry this being positive on their own. So when they find someone like me, they want to talk about it. They want to discuss it. They want to ask if there is a way out for them to actually have a relationship. So it's actually, I have someone from, what country was that? I think Uganda, either Uganda or Kenya, that called me a few days ago. It was like he wants to relocate, but he doesn't know if he relocates. He's not married. He's almost 40. Can he get someone that is positive to marry when he relocates to the country he wants to? That it has been heavy in his heart. So imagine that kind of burden that people living with HIV carries. So when they find people like me, I'll be able to give them an answer that makes them feel better. That yes, you can get married anywhere in the world. Because we have people living with HIV everywhere in the world. Just like in Nigeria. The highest state of people living with HIV, according to records, it's Rivers. Rivers State. So about 208,000 people living with HIV in Rivers. I would say people are actually coming out in that state. I think that's why the record is like that. So we have 200,000 plus in Rivers. Then followed by Benue State. Benue, 200 and something thousand. Then Akwa Ibom. Akwa Ibom is about 160 something thousand. Then Lagos. Fourth. 100 and something thousand. Then Anambra State, 100 and something. Then Abuja. Abuja is number 6. Abuja is, I think, 83,000. Then followed by Delta. Then Imo State. Followed by Enugu, Edo, Taraba. We now start seeing them. So people living with HIV are kind of everywhere, but lots of people are not discussing it. Lots of people they carry the burden alone. Like I remember a lady crying to me, telling me that the mom actually told her she is disappointed in her because she's HIV positive. So she called and she was actually crying. So imagine if your mom, a mother, can actually look, a child in the face to say, I'm disappointed in you. What about if it's any other disease? Like, I don't understand why HIV is not accepted and understandable in the society. Why do people embrace it when you tell them you have cancer? Why do people embrace it when you tell them you have kidney issues, liver issues? Why do people embrace it? Then HIV, that is a manageable disease, people kind of push the person away just because the person is HIV positive. So please, let's show love, support, and acceptance, and even understanding to people living with HIV.
Awesome. This is the Link Up with yours truly, Teddy A, on Echooroom. If you'd love to be a part of the show, be a sponsor, be a guest, be a partner, do send us an email at the details at the bottom of your screen. I'm going to ask you 2 more questions before I let you go. I know you're a busy woman, and it's been an awesome conversation. What advice would you give anyone out there right now looking for love? apart from your platform, which is doing God's work for people looking for love who are positive, living with HIV, what advice would you give them right now?
I would say search. But keep your fantasy aside. Fantasy is not reality. Sometimes the kind of thing that we put up that we want in a man or in a woman does not exist. The most important thing I always tell people in marriage or looking for love is little of everything. You cannot find 100% of trust, 100% of respect, 100% of kindness, 100% of honesty. You can't find that. But if you can find little, like there's little trust.
Little boss here and there.
Yeah, little of everything than having that fantasy of wanting to wipe out poverty from your lineage.
I love that.
I think that's basically the issues we have with love.
It's societal.
It's society.
It's cultural.
It's cultural.
Yeah, it is.
So people just want that. I'm not saying for women alone. I'm saying men are the most people that approach me for wanting to wipe out poverty from their lineage. So you don't have a very good job. You want a woman that has a career. You see somebody in my platform, maybe when you go through my platform, you see posters of people that exist. So you go through the poster and you see someone that has PhD and you are a baba and you're chatting me up because you feel the person is positive, that the person will be able to accept anything, forgetting that there is a reason for the person waiting up to that time. So most men don't live in reality. I'm sorry to say it. I think most men, they actually don't live in reality. They just want to wipe out poverty. And they believe matchmaking platform is one of the way they can use in wiping out poverty. Please, if you want to wipe out poverty, there are plenty poverty elevation program by the government, not positive one-ship. But that's the fact. Let's embrace it.
Yeah.
You know, if we can, okay, fine. An educated person can get married to an uneducated person. It happens. But it happens natural. It happens natural. It's not that hard working, like in my platform, you must be working. You must be doing something that puts water or food on your table for me to register you. Even if you have your cash. If you have your money and you're not doing anything, I cannot register you. Do. But at the same time, you need to, there are people that, I'm not saying, shawarma business is not a good job. You chat me up, I'll ask you what you're doing. You tell me you're doing shawarma business. And I'll ask you, what kind of woman are you looking for? You start telling me accountant. I don't know how you want to achieve that. So sometimes you find out that you're a registered member and it's taking so long for you to be matched. It's because of this
disparity.
And sometimes...
and delusion.
Yeah. And sometimes I don't just know how to pass that story to you because I don't know how you see yourself. For you to feel that you can actually, you can probably meet the person on the streets. And and when I tell you that, okay, can you screenshot that poster and send to me? You will see the thing that the person indicates that they want. And you are telling me that I should try first. So sometimes it's just people wanting to elevate poverty from their lineage or from themselves. So I think that's the major problem in most people not finding real love.
They need to get real.
Yes, they need to get real. If you are a barber you have level. Tomorrow you get married to the accountant and she's not respecting you in the house. Because it will be difficult for her to look. She has to be very, very kind for her to shower you with respect.
Even that kindness, if.
So that's delusion, that's fantasy of wanting to get up there. Women do it, but men, men are really
delusional.
Yes, they really, really want to climb.
On that.
They really want to climb.
On that note, we have come to the end of this awesome episode of The Link Up with yours truly, Teddy A. I hope you've heard everything Miss Stella has said on her platform, Bonding Positive.
Positive bond.
Oh, sorry. Positive Bondship.
Yes.
I apologize about that. On her platform, Positive Bondship, you get to find love, but the right way, not anyhow way. Don't forget to follow us, share, like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, donate. Follow us on all social media platforms. On Instagram, it is Echooroom _ECHOOROOM_. Don't forget to follow me as well. Once again, see you next time.